Hey everyone, sorry for the weird audio, but I am traveling this week and life and the stars just did not align. So I wasn't able to get to the podcast that I wanted to for today, but I did find this silly little gem that my sister and I had done when we were practicing, and I hope you enjoy it. But next week we will start back up again, and I believe we are talking about blurting things out. But until then, hope you have a great week and remember, stay curious.
Didn't you learn like every version of solitaire or something?
Yeah, I got
or poker
bored.
or something. So
Yeah, because Dad had those had the rows and rows of books. Like just how many bookshelves did we have? Like 5 or 6, just floor to ceiling in both books.
Yeah, he made them, and I'm gonna say 8, floor to ceiling.
Yeah,
yeah,
because that was where his family came from. Was that education was the amount of books that you had,
right,
and
right.
From the Depression, like
and
they
so
just
did Mom.
everything.
Really,
Yeah,
they believed in that, which actually I think is great to have books in your house.
Yeah.
I don't have as many anymore in my house. Everything's digital, right?
Right.
But there were so many things that I never would have read had I not been bored one summer.
Yeah,
I don't think the kids get bored anymore. That's a
No,
problem.
I think
but yeah,
boredom's really important for creativity.
for sure.
Yeah, I was bored one summer and I was like, I think you had introduced me to solitaire when we were at Avila Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember teaching you how to shuffle the cards. Yeah.
Yeah, that was somewhat like
Yeah.
I had a hard time sleeping as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And when I couldn't sleep, I would just stay up at night and I would practice shuffling.
Wow.
Or I would practice whatever version of solitaire on my bed that I could, because I could usually, hide it I could hide a deck of cards under my pillow.
You know, it's so funny to grow up in the same house. I mean, funny is the wrong word, but it's interesting to grow up in the same house. And I knew later in life you had insomnia.
Yeah.
But I didn't really associate that with you as a kid. I don't think I knew that. I think you hid it pretty well.
I think my the bags under my eyes didn't hide it very well, and my anger. But I think that's the point, is like if you have a kid who's angry, you think that it must be that they are a problem.
Right.
And not that there's something physically going wrong.
That is a problem for them.
Yeah.
There's so much more nowadays, I think, that we look for those things and doctors look for those things. I don't think that was even on anyone's radar back then. But yeah, I mean, I remember having to get you ready for carpool and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because you were tired, I think.
Oh, I was exhausted.
Exhausted all the time.
But my brain could not stop.
Couldn't stop.
Like it couldn't. Like I would sit in bed and I would always have some scenario that I was playing out. Like I don't know if I've ever told this to anybody either, but I would be in bed and I was like, okay, the floor just like all of a sudden became lava, and then like me and this other person, we're just stuck here, and we have to, I had like whole adventures going on in my head, and I would be playing them out at night because I could not. I just like it didn't make sense to sleep. I was not tired.
Wow.
And I still am that way. I mean, I struggle right now, and Brian has to get up at the butt crack of dawn, and
military man,
and and so it's I've kind of forced myself, but like my love would be like I do my best work at like 11 p.m.
Right. Our mom's that way too. She's a total night owl.
Totally.
I don't know how she dealt with working all those years.
Well, that's probably why she was grumpy. She's like like I was grumpy too when I had to.
Right.
Like, you're just so tired.
So tired. And I'm such a morning person, and I annoy everyone in my life.
I know.
Everyone. And it's weird, too, because I do feel like when you're a morning person, for some reason, I don't know, this maybe goes back to, like, agricultural days or something, but somehow that gives you, like, you're better than others because you can wake up in the morning.
But that's the thing is, like,
but somebody had to stay up and watch and make sure the wolves didn't eat us all. So
I would have been the night shift.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have been the night shift, and I would also be the one who sensed danger before anyone else sensed it.
Well, that's and I think it's super important. I mean, it's helpful in our household, multi-generational household. She's awake when my, teenage son is awake, right? And so that's helpful because I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you need to get to bed or whatever,
Yeah.
making sure he's staying on the straight and narrow.
Thanks, Vava.
Thanks, Vava. We call her Vava, our mom, because she is the grandmother, right? And that we think is that Portuguese name.
It's probably Americanized, but yeah, Vava.
Vava.
It's grandma in Portuguese.
Yeah, that's our nickname for her.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for listening to my little gem of a podcast today. Maybe we'll call it like a wee podcast, a wee pod. I don't know. We'll call it something. But I appreciate you guys taking a listen. And I remember next week we will be hopefully back up to speed. But until then, stay curious, my friends. Oh, but before I go, actually, if you guys have a chance and you like what's happening, please feel free to like this, follow the show, leave a rating on whatever platform you're on, and I'll see you next week. Bye.